Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Here's the pitch to Russell.
Driven in the air. This will get a run in. Deep right center. Back goes Peterson to the wall. It's gone. Home run. Addison Russell. Cubs lead 4-0.
Here it is. Swinging a drive out into deep center. Peterson goes back to the wall. Gone. Anthony Rizzo with a home run. And the Cubs now lead 5-0.
How much fun was that, Cubs fans? Cubs blow out the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. 10-13-2 is loads better than 2-6-4. Our series is back to even, tied at 2 games apiece. And now the Cubs, 6 wins.
Oh, wow.
From a world championship. Hello, welcome into Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. He's Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Let's get this out of the way.
Boom.
Right now. Cubs get it done. They pound the Dodgers tonight. It was a little tense early. John Lackey kept them in it, and then the offense just blew it open.
Yeah, good to see. Offense comes alive. No doubt that's the storyline in this one, and great to see. The home runs, I think Addison Russell, between Addison Russell and Anthony Rizzo, 6 for 10, a couple home runs, used the middle of the field. Just so happy for him. Did you not feel and sense the weight had just been lifted off their shoulders watching them play, watching them engage their teammates as they, kind of flash that sign as they get over to first base? Great to see. Good game. It just leads you into what's next, which is a game tomorrow, which I believe they're very, should come out and win. And, everything that we went through last night is now behind us.
All right, it's time to get interactive with the show. Get your mobile, laptop, or tablet ready. Go to csnchicago.com/vote. No special app, no cost. Just go to the website. We'd love your thoughts. We're asking you this question. Who was your Game 4 MVP? Anthony Rizzo, Addison Russell, Ben Zobrist, or third base coach Gary Jones? Holly wanted that.
That's
for
the one
sending
I
Zobrist
wanted.
home in the 4th inning and got the Cubs on the board. Here's Kelly Kroll with Ben Zobrist right now.
Your bunt there in the 4th really kind of set everything off after that. Will you tell me why that was the thought process in that moment for you?
I mean, we're just trying to get anything going that we can, and sometimes it doesn't. You're trying to swing the bat well, but sometimes that's the thing that's needed the most is just do whatever you can to get on base, and I felt like it was time to do something like that, and it worked out. We got a couple hits after that, and the bats came alive.
We spoke the other day, and you said guys who maybe were pressing a little bit at this point in the postseason, whatever it may have been, they needed to turn the page. It was only about wins and losses. When you look at what Rizzo and Russell were able to do tonight, how proud are you that at this point in the season they were able to do that and make such a difference?
Well, it's big. I mean, we need them. We need every guy in our lineup to be clicking and swinging the bat well. And there are 2 key cogs in the lineup. So obviously, Riz getting 3, Addy, what do you have, 2 or 3 hits as well? I mean, it's just really, really important for their confidence, for our team's confidence going forward. And tomorrow, I feel like the offense going into the day is going to feel a lot better.
Having done this championship run just a year ago, is there something to a defining moment or a point in the postseason run that changes the entire momentum from that point on?
Well, yeah, you'd like to believe it's one moment, but it's multiple moments. The momentum, especially in these series, this 7-game series, it goes back and forth a little bit, and you got to hang with it and just keep battling, and that's what our team did today, and we were able to pull a big win out.
Awesome. Ben, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. So a lot of fun to watch this team break it open. Not every game is going to be as comfortable as it unfolds as this one, but the Zobrist bunt that Kelly asked him about, that was a huge play because at that point it was 0-0. You're still a little tense. Rizzo had a strikeout, and you're like, ugh, and it got somebody on base.
The bunt represents getting away from what is plaguing you, which is the rut that you're in and the consistency of that rut, meaning at bat after at bat, take after take, strikeout after strikeout, bad contact after bad contact. And really, it's just the idea of thinking outside of the box. I don't think Ben Zobrist will tell you, you know, this is in my back pocket. I'm going to do this all the time. Every time I start to drop down a butt. It's just sometimes it's changing it up, Cap. It's as simple as that. What ends up happening? You get a little bit of momentum. You get a couple broken bat base hits. You get a long one, and next thing you know, you got a big inning going for yourself, all triggered by a 20-footer right there. Dropped it down the third base line beautifully. No throw, no play.
All right, let's go back to Dodger Stadium. Kelly now has Addison Russell.
Well, Addison Russell, did it feel like maybe in a way the weight of the world was taken off your shoulders when you watched that ball go deep tonight and saw the difference it made in this game?
Absolutely. You know, I feel like I've been seeing the ball well, been putting up some good at-bats, hitting the ball well, just nothing's been falling. So in my mind, just try to not get frustrated, not panic. So the swing felt good tonight. Saw the ball well.
Overall, was there a difference in guys at bats tonight, the approach at the plate? Did you feel like guys were being a little bit more patient, waiting on things like has been your MO all season long?
Absolutely. We got back to Cubby baseball tonight. There's no doubt about that. We're hitting the ball hard, moving runners over, and that's what we do.
How can this momentum be carried over now with John Lester taking the hill with this series tied up at 2?
It gives us a huge amount of momentum. He's a bulldog. He's going to go out there and do his thing, and we're excited to play tomorrow.
Describe after your home run, just in general, what the reaction was like in the dugout from your teammates, and then from there on out, how it played out with Rizzo doing it and everything else.
Oh, it was huge, man. My team has been sticking beside us, you know, this whole season, and I've been struggling kind of this postseason, and to greet my teammates down there in the tunnel and the dugout is awesome, and then the fact that Rizzo's having a lot of success too as well.
Last but not least, does it feel totally different for you now that you have had these hits that you knew it was just a matter of time to get them?
Absolutely. It's definitely a sigh of relief. I know the lineup is definitely a sigh of relief. The pitchers, they've been phenomenal, so just got to keep it going.
All right, Addison Russell, thank you so much. Congratulations. Guys.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. So let's get into some of the key plays in this game. The send.
Might take a while.
There's a lot. But the send of Ben Zobrist,
right,
which you look at, you went, oh, my God, he's going to be out by a mile. Bad throw by Tolles. Here's the Willson Contreras hit.
All right. Yeah, well, listen.
There's a solid single. Now, Zobrist hits third. At the time, the ball's in Tolles' hands, and that you can't make a worse throw.
Well, everything about that play, the representation, listen, that's an 0-2 swing right there. That's shortening up and putting the ball in play, right? You see it right there. Let's start with that. Great jump around third base, but he's dead meat. As soon as he comes up with the ball, Tolles does in left field, Ben Zobrist, right? Look at the throw's already up. He's 2 steps around third. He throws it up the line. That's why I stuck it in in our poll question, because that is another bold play. This is how you get out of slumps, Cap. You think outside the box. You do things a little differently, and you just say, you know what? This is a dumb send on my part. The whole time he's doing this, he's going, please, please be safe at home. But you put a little bit of pressure on them defensively to make a play, and next thing you know, it blows up. What did the Dodgers end up doing in this ballgame tonight? 4 errors, right? We watched the comedy of errors. Throw home from Peterson, gets past Grandal, comes back out. He misses it on the way. It leads. I mean, you see how momentum works in baseball, and we, the Cubs, regained it again tonight by putting pressure on the Dodger defense.
Back to Dodger Stadium, Kelly now has Willson Contreras.
Guys, I'm standing here with Willson Contreras, who told me so. He wanted to be a catalyst tonight. I want to start out defensively with the play at the plate. Adrian Gonzalez, how did that change the complexion of this game?
It was a tough play. It was a tough play, like I said. I mean, it was tough. I mean, Hayward made a really good throw, which got stuck a little bit on the ground, but I was able to catch him and get him tag Gonzalez.
And then offensively, let's talk about the big 4th inning. Ben Zobrist kind of bunts to get on, and from there things continue to just unfold for this team. What were you seeing from the at-bats, and then for you specifically, that worked in that situation?
That's how Big Rally came up, like with a bone or blooper. And when I saw the situation, I was trying, like I said, I was trying to put the ball in play, especially with 2 strikes. He made a good pitch, but I was able to put the barrel on the body. That's how thing happens. If you try to do less, you're gonna have more success.
You do know people at home think it's all the sunglasses now, right?
yeah. I mean, it's like part of my routine right now, and I gotta keep doing it.
last but not least, the way this series has now shifted to being John Lester on the hill tomorrow. It's a 3-game series at this point. How big is that for this team?
It's huge for us. I mean, we have John Lester on the mound. He's outstanding, and I'm going to bring my energy tomorrow to win this game again.
All right, Willson Contreras, enjoy this one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
Watch Willson here. He is having a good old time with the Cub fans. He loves it. Still got his gear on.
He should. Yeah, don't be afraid to take that gear off.
That was a lot of fun to watch. That kid's got to be in the lineup tomorrow.
You find a way. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think it's probably a little bit more along the lines of the outfield configuration. When you say he's got to be in the lineup, that means he's probably playing left field. Listen, left and right are very similar. Maybe the ball goes because of John going tomorrow to one side or the other with the lefties or the righties or whatever you think is going to ultimately happen in the ball game. But I'm with you. The energy and passion for which this kid plays with is exactly what you need.
But where are you going to play him?
I'm going to play him in the outfield.
So you're sitting Hayward.
Yeah.
In a John Lester start where you're hoping to get great defense.
Yeah, well, I want to see more of what I saw tonight. I mean, that's just it. I'm willing to forfeit a little defense, at least early, so that we got some offense. I don't want that to be the issue. I don't want to set myself up to predict a low-scoring ball game. I want to get the guys out there that grinded out the at-bats tonight and got some momentum going. I talked about it in the Dodgers game. Like that's what you want in the postseason. This is the only spot, I mean, obviously in the World Series it comes next, where you have 3 games in a row without a day off. You got something going here. Everybody contributed tonight. You got some hot hitters. Guys are feeling good about themselves. They're going to go back to the hotel tonight. They're going to relax a little bit. They're going to come back to Dodger Stadium again tomorrow and play a baseball game again. What do you want to do? I mean, you want to race up to the batter's box right now, as good as you're feeling. You think Addison Russell wants to go to bed tonight? No. He wants to get back to the ball yard and get another game going. He's ready to roll.
All right, let's talk about Addison Russell. Here he is. It's a 2-0 ball game, and that ball smoked.
Yeah.
You and I are yelling in the newsroom, and boom. Jock Peterson about ran through the wall, but he got that one, and he smoked it. He's hustling out of the box, but you can tell, man, what a relief for that kid. Look at him.
Well, let's go back to last night.
What is he doing?
Yeah, well, he needs to make sure that hat doesn't fall off anymore. I'm tired of that, Cappy. He either needs to get on the Cappy program or get a better haircut.
Yeah, shave that hat
Holy
there,
cow. Addison Russell, 2-0 pitch, drives it out the other way. That's the one thing that really stands out to me. Remember, we've talked about Addison Russell, and I said it repeatedly. He's pull happy. I mean, we've watched him go through it. Now, last night we saw it, and I was kind of hoping he'd stay in the game last night. The line drive to right field, right, where he stayed on a fastball away and drove it to right. Right there, that's a 2-0 pitch. That's a go zone pitch. A lot of times as a hitter, and, some hitters are even raised this way, 2-0 pitches get pulled. They get pulled hard. What did Addison Russell do right there? He stayed through that 2-0 swing right there and drove it to center field. That's exactly what you want to see. That's how you get back on the ball. He'll be a pull hitter again, but when you're going through a slump, you got to find the field. You got to find the big part of the field, and he did tonight.
All right, Anthony Rizzo had a monster night tonight. A 3-hit night. By the way, shout out to one of our producers, Steve Johnson.
Yeah.
He said the night before the game he'd have a 3-for-3 night. So, Steve, you get some props. And then there's his.
Way to go, Steve. Yeah, great. Again, same spot. His funny thing is he had a home run in this at-bat down the right field line, foul. And you think back, again, to last night, we showed you in the pregame show, the frustration from Anthony Rizzo on pitches out over the plate that he kept pulling foul, right? I mean, maybe he needed a little bit more velocity, 99 miles an hour. But look at this. Dead center field, right? Here we go again. Same spot. Great piece of hitting right there. It's funny when you keep that front hip in and drive that ball back through the middle, and you get some nice extension there. It's not that either one of these guys aren't pull hitters. You pull when you're really locked in, but neither one of these guys have been really locked in. So let's find the middle of that field again. Let's use that big part of the ballpark and keep those front hips in and get out of the way, Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, exactly. He almost got run over.
Move it!
Now, the interesting thing, one of our guys here, Jared Stork, one of our producers, pointed this out and checked it on all 4 at-bats. Rizzo strikes out twice. He dumps his bat, gets Matt Szczur's bat.
Right.
It's a home run and a 2-run single with Szczur's bat.
Well, doesn't that tell you the logic of a baseball player? I told you, like I said about the bunt and the Gary Jones send right there. He's got no business sending, our first runner home on the base at the left. When you go through things like this, you will try anything, Cappy. You will do whatever you've got. You asked me whose bat that was, and you know what I guessed first? I guessed it was probably a pitcher's bat. Because the logic is, well, our pitchers can hit, and our hitters aren't hitting. So I thought he probably has been in, Jake Arrieta's stash or something. But Matt Szczur, there you go.
All
No
right,
surprise.
so he has it. I'm sure he'll continue to use it. So
No
thank you,
doubt.
Matt Szczur. Watching this game unfold tonight, Dodgers were sloppy defensively. The Cubs were sloppy last night. You'll think the Dodgers will clean their stuff up tomorrow. But do you believe when Dave Roberts meets the media, he says, I've decided to take Kenta Maeda down. Kershaw goes Thursday. He was emphatic before the game. Maeda is going. Kershaw will not pitch. He said, quote, under any circumstances. Do you believe that?
Well, let me put it this way. And here's the reasoning behind it. And I think that you're going to see Clayton Kershaw pitch in Game 6. Bottom line. Number one, you can't continue. Even if you bring Clayton Kershaw back tomorrow, you're really rolling the dice that he pitches, lights out, and that you're able to pick up a win for the Dodgers. At the same time, you're acknowledging that the series is still going back to Wrigley Field, and there's a very good chance that he can ultimately pitch in Game 7. So that's the logic for one. But here's your other problem. You still have to pitch the other game. The only other person that they've got available to pitch currently isn't Urias, who went tonight. Certainly not Rich Hill yet. It's Kenta Maeda. So he's got to pitch. So based on what we've seen from Maeda his last 3 times out, he's got to pitch tomorrow. Dave Roberts is thinking, all right, if I'm going to sneak Maeda through, especially after what I witnessed from the Cubs tonight, I'm going to do it at Dodger Stadium. I'm not going to have Maeda start at Wrigley Field.
Dave Roberts just spoke just now and said Clayton Kershaw will not start tomorrow night.
Yeah, there you go. Same answer. I wasn't surprised with that. It makes all the sense.
Kenta Maeda will start game number 5 tomorrow. All right, let's go back out to Dodger Stadium. And our guy, Ryne Sandberg, Cubs Hall of Famer, joins us now from the field. All right, Rhino, let's talk about this ball game. This was a big, big offensive performance for the Cubs. What was your take? Because the first 3 innings, it was a little tense. Lackey's keeping them in it. They don't have anything going, and all of a sudden a bunt by Ben Zobrist, and everything changes.
Yeah, you know what? Lackey did a good job setting the tone on the pitching side of things. And let's don't forget Jason Hayward in right field, keeping the Dodgers from scoring the first run of the game, throwing the guy out at home plate. That's why he plays right field on a daily basis, and he did a good job right there. But then we were able to string some hits together finally, and get a big blast from Contreras there, which broke the ice of scoreless innings and got the Cubs on the board. And, of course, Addison Russell then chipping in, Anthony Rizzo, and really snowballed up and down the lineup from there. So it was very good to see 13 hits up and down the lineup. And you know what? The Cubs fans had something to cheer about. The Cub fans that were here really took over after the 5th inning here at Dodger Stadium.
Hey, Rhino, do you think that there was any momentum gained? I'm not necessarily buying into it, but it really felt like the Dodgers were hoping that Adrian Gonzalez was going to be safe at home. And when he wasn't, when he was called out, it almost felt like the Cubs had just absolutely kind of grabbed maybe some momentum or something that could maybe get them. Like a call went their way. Was that the feeling with the Cub players?
No question. Showed a lot of excitement for the first time in the dugout. But like I said, Jason Hayward out there for a reason, and threw a bullet to home plate with a very close call. And was good to see and glad to see that overturned, because that was a break for the Cubs. And at that point, it was the Cubs' turn in the 4th inning to put the first runs on the board.
Huge night for Anthony Rizzo, Rhino, and a huge night for Addison Russell. Those 2 guys, this has got to loosen not just them up, but their whole team, their teammates have got to go, all right, we got our guys back, right?
No question about it. And we talked about those guys being due. That's why you stick with your regular guys. They're the guys. They're good in other facets of the game, but to see them swing the bats together, it really just seemed to loosen up the whole lineup. So this was a get-happy game for the lineup, and they were happy. There was a lot of high-five and a lot of excitement in the dugout. It was great to see it, and that's the momentum that the Cubs needed to change. So to be 2-2 now, it's a huge better feeling here. No question about it, going with Lester tomorrow.
Ken, talk a little bit about the approach tonight. It really seemed like there was a lot, a whole lot of concentrating on using the middle of the field. Addison Russell's home run to center field, Anthony Rizzo's home run to center field, base hits out there. Even the inning where they started to score, they battled. They were short base hits, a couple broken bat ones that kind of fell over the shortstop's head. How important was that? Did you notice the deliberate effort to really stay inside the ball tonight?
Just noticed a lot of contact up and down the lineup, especially in those innings when the runs went up on the board and throughout the game. Good contact. Guys were staying on the ball. Guys were battling long at bats, and then the big thing was putting the hits together and creating a rally. A rally got everybody into it, got the players into it, got the Cub fans into it, and it was a very good feeling here with the Cub fans. They really celebrated starting after the 6th inning.
For a Major League manager, you have got to make out a lineup card tomorrow. If you were in charge, how would you fill it out for the Cubs? Because I know David Ross will catch John Lester, but I cannot keep Willson Contreras on the bench. I got to find a way to get him in the lineup, which means Jason Hayward probably doesn't start. If I'm making out the lineup card, what would you do?
Well, you know what? It's hard to change something that works, and the momentum that was created tonight, it was because of the lineup top to bottom. I give Hayward a lot of credit for his defense, keeping the runs off the board. I think it'd be hard to switch it up too much, but with David Ross being in there catching, see Lester being very strong, and this team will have a very good feeling coming into the game tomorrow, especially from the offensive side of things. Much looser. You know what? I did notice the pregame much more businesslike. Wasn't a lot of side chatter and interviews going on. It was much more business, and I think it really showed in the game. So I think that was a good adjustment that was made, and I think the Cubs are back to business.
All right, Rhino, we appreciate your time. We'll talk to you in the pregame tomorrow, okay, buddy?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rhino.
You got it. There he is, our guy Ryan Sandberg, who's working for us throughout the playoffs here on CSN. Let's talk about Willson Contreras again and then get into more. Again, if you're just joining us now, Dave Roberts, the Dodger manager, just announced that Clayton Kershaw will not start tomorrow's game. Instead, he has been slotted for Game 6. Means Kenta Maeda, who has had his struggles, and we've got his numbers on a board. If you look at the numbers on Kenta Maeda, it's obviously an advantage for the Cubs. You still have to go out and execute, but with John Lester going up against Maeda, that's a major advantage to the Cubs before the game starts.
Absolutely, no doubt about it, but you got to take full advantage of it. We've talked about it throughout this series, you know, what baseball games turn themselves into if you don't score runs in the obvious places where you think damage can be done. Maeda is clearly a favorable matchup for this team. He is currently struggling and has for the last 3 games. What you want to do is get him. He's trying to get him at Dodger Stadium.
All right, let's go right back to Dodger Stadium. Here's Joe Maddon, brought to you by Xfinity.
Defensive team you could on the field. It's amazing how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's our team. You saw our team out there today. We scuffled in the beginning there. How about the bunt gets the whole thing rolling by your number 4 hitter? How unlikely is that? So we do that. Then Baez works a great at-bat. Contreras works a great at-bat. Hayward does what he needs to do, grounder to second. And then, of course, Addison got back to normal right there. So it's contagious, just like the lack of it's contagious. When you start hitting, it is contagious. Defense, this whole game really follows itself, kind of. So I like the team on the field. That's the team that got all those wins this year, so I was very comfortable with it.
And over here to the right.
Joe, knowing that Rizzo and Russell have been such a big part of your offense all year, seeing each of them with 3 hits tonight, home run, a couple RBIs, does that give you the faith that this could be enough to break them out of it and get them sort of whatever weight was on their shoulders off?
Yeah, it definitely should add to their confidence. There's no question about that. When you're going through the moment that they were, it's a confidence issue. It's always is. So going into tomorrow, I know when they show up at the ballpark, there's going to be a good bounce about them. Probably going to see the ball a little bit better, slow things down a little bit. Those kind of buzzwords that you're always looking for when a guy starts swinging the bat well. But yeah, more than anything, it's about confidence, and I want to believe they're going to show up tomorrow with a lot more confidence than they showed up today.
And all the way in the back left.
Joe, can you talk about Mike Montgomery coming in with the bases loaded, getting out with minimal damage, and also helping himself in that 6th?
Yeah. Actually, if he just gets his glove out of the way, he gets out of the inning. But he did a great job. The strikeout, Seager's great, ground ball Turner, and then eventually he escapes with no more runs. That was obviously very, very big for us. How to leave? I want to leave him in that. As long as the score's 5-2, he's going to hit. There's no way to double switch. I'm not going to double switch at that point. And then, yes, that's a big knock to left field for him. And then, again, it opened up afterwards. But the pitching, getting him in there in that moment. Once John walked 2 guys, John doesn't normally walk people like that. And so here comes Utley, Seager, Turner, Gonzalez, third time around. Again, it's not like middle of June. You got to play a little bit different from the pitching perspective, and so we did, and it worked out.
And over here to the left, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Joe, you had said you really wanted to score first tonight. How big were those 2 outs on the bases, the pickoff of Turner and then Hayward's throw and that appeal? And how did you see the appeal?
Just like you did, it was awkward. We thought that they may have called them safe. We really did. But it's I don't know if it came down to it, but it's that old hovering over the top of the, is it hovering or hovering? Hovering. Showing my Pennsylvania roots. Crick. You can't tell whether that hand was over the top of the plate or not, and I think that's what they had to go by, because we've had to go against us at other times this year where it looked very obvious to us one way, then it came out another. So it's the way, it's what it is. But how about Contreras' pick at second? That was very large with Gonzalez sitting right there. Put a whole different feel or look on the game. He had himself quite a game behind the plate. He's a weapon. He's a weapon the way he throws the baseball. He's not afraid. You can see he's fearless. The tag just jumped out there, got a piece of Gonzalez, and then the pick at second. He had himself a pretty good night.
And all the way in the back, Joel.
Yes, sir. Joel.
Joe, you said it's not the middle of June. You have to have it different from a pitching perspective. Why doesn't that go for a lineup when it's struggling at this time of year to be more kind of dynamic and just say, hey, this guy is one for something, I've got to change it or something like that?
Well, I think, with that, you just don't have as many options. I would say is the guys that we had on the field tonight probably had the most at-bats. If you really break it down, probably best opportunity in my mind's eye. Now you could make an argument maybe for one guy possibly, but otherwise this is our best lineup. We've had 103 wins. This is our lineup that got us to that particular juncture. We had 2 tough nights. So what? I mean, I can't overreact for 2 tough nights. We changed it up a little bit yesterday. Part of it is I want to keep Soler solvent regarding pinch hitting, and he got his chance again to pinch hit tonight. He had 3 at bats. I think it was 3 yesterday. But basically, I think when it comes down to manipulation of the game, bullpen, when you talk about your bullpenners, these guys are used to doing a whole bunch of different things daily, and they're always involved. They just might have a different time of the game to be involved with right now. Position players, I mean, Addison's, arguably one of the best shortstops in the league. Baez at second base. I don't know why you would really necessarily want to. You have if you had more position players, possibly, like if the roster was larger, you might consider something like that. But these are your guys, and they showed up tonight.
And all the way in the back?
Joe, back to that bunt by Ben in the 4th. Was that something you guys talked about before the at-bat, or was that just a heads-up play from
It's
Ben?
always best when Benny does something extemporaneously. Whenever I give him a sign, it never works. So I'm glad he thought of it on his own.
Are there, and Allison over here to the right?
Just on Edwards Jr. coming out of the game, what was the...
Yeah, we could have been a cramp. We're not 100% sure yet. It wasn't anything awful. I just talked to our trainer, and we got to wait till tomorrow to see how he reacts to it. Talking to him in the clubhouse, he described it as being less than mild. So hopefully it was just a cramp, and we'll reevaluate tomorrow.
And Phil over here to the left.
Phil.
Joe, just kind of big picture on the series now. It's 2 out of 3. And you look at the pitchers that are lined up to pitch on both sides. What should anybody expect from here?
What you've seen so far. I mean, it's been a pretty interesting series to this point. I did not expect it to be such a lopsided victory for us today, although they had theirs yesterday. Moving forward, John, and then Kershaw waiting in the wings. Of course, it's like you said, it's 2 out of 3 right now. We know it's at least going back home at some point. Tomorrow will be a pretty nice day to come out on top and going back home having to win 1 of 2. We've been pretty good at Wrigley all year. So it's just an interesting baseball series, man. I think it's great. I think it's great for baseball. I talked about this the other day. I think if you're looking to garner new fans, this is a great venue for that. Kids watching on TV, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting stuff.
Is there a last one for Joe? Nope. Okay, we'll let him get back.
Cool. Thank you.
I think Addison Russell is here.
All right, there you go. So that's Cubs manager Joe Maddon. And he did not call for the bunt. That was Ben Zobrist doing that on his own, which extemporaneously, it's always a good thing, as he liked to say. So, hovering, not hovering. Oh, wait a minute, maybe it is hovering. Joe's always entertaining.
Sure he is. It's good to see. There's, the smiles are back. The swagger's back. I talked about that in the pregame show. That's what you want to see from the guys, the boys in blue. That confidence, it comes out. Listen, this group likes to have fun. And, some people responded to me, saying, oh, Holly, what are you talking about? They need to go out there and play angry. It's not their personalities. Go out there and have fun. What I was really talking about was the focus that they played with tonight. I mean, who was out in front? I mean, who was the one making all the plays? This team was. Who was picking runners off of second base? We were. I mean, this is, that's what you're thinking when you're in these moments. That's when I said elevate the game, elevate your focus, elevate your thought. It'll bring the smile back. As we got to the 6th inning and I saw Anthony Rizzo over at first base, I thought, the smile's back, as he gives a little thing to hide right over there at first base, as he always does when he gets over there. When he's running around the bases after hitting a home run, the smile comes back. The tension comes out of the shoulders. The players start to relax and see the ball and play the game. And that's what you're going to see tomorrow.
And we have the interaction between Anthony and Angel Hernandez at home.
Yeah.
We'll show you that after we take a timeout. One more time, we'd like to give you our poll question for you. Who's the MVP of tonight's game? Holly threw in an interesting choice. Gary Jones for sending Zobrist.
He did it.
He's the new
Started
leader.
this whole thing.
I'm going to have to go Riz or Russell. But Gary Jones getting a lot of love.
He should.
Time for a break here on Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Alongside Todd Osworth, I'm David Kaplan. We'll be right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling. Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
With a curved ultra-high-definition screen, Samsung's SUHD TVs give you a brighter picture and the most brilliant colors for the best viewing experience. It's Samsung's best TV, and it's here at Apt Electronics, available in screen sizes from 48 to 88 inches. Come see it today. Guaranteed low prices, unbeatable selection, and free local delivery. Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
I'm Autumn.
I'm Bryant, and we're the owners of Sir and Maddon Clothing in Chicago. We opened up our flagship location in Hyde Park.
This is a powerful city. Great things are happening, and we're excited to be a part of that.
For us, greatness is all about loving what you do.
And taking risks to do what you love.
Greatness is within reach. Right now, you can get a great deal on the Civic, KBB.com's overall Best Buy for 2016. From Honda.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
All right, let's have the Ameristar Casino Hotel pitching a recap. All right, John Lackey lasted 4 innings and none too pleased when he came out in the 5th after walking the 8-hitter and a pinch hitter. He gave up just 3 hits, 2 earned runs that came around to score after he had departed the game. 3 Ks, 3 walks through 72 pitches. Julio Urias, and that is the correct pronunciation. I checked with Sierra Santos. It's Urias. And he went 3 2/3, 4 hits, 4 earned. Struck out 4, walked 2, and also threw 72 pitches. Urias. Here's John Lackey meeting the media.
Going to get in this series. Yeah, it's a big night for our offense to come out and swing the bats well. And, everything's about team goals right now. A win's a win, and we'll take it.
John, what was the feeling on the bench when you guys did break through and score those 4 runs? Was it like a relief feeling or just normal?
Man, I was checked in on other things. You had to ask the guys that were swinging.
How much do you like that moment, being put in a position where you guys really needed a win tonight, just to kind of slip the momentum back to you guys?
I mean, I've been in a few of them, so it's fun to have that challenge. I mean, every game this time of year is a challenge. It doesn't really matter what the score is in the series.
You said you've been in a few. Now John's going tomorrow with a chance to put you guys up 3-2 going home. You know, what do you think is going through his mind right now as he gets ready for that start?
Big left-hander's been here before. He'll be just fine.
So having been through, like you said, a few of these, sometimes does games like this, innings like that, can they shift an entire series?
I think honestly sometimes you can get a little bit too carried away. I mean, we were down 2-1, a couple hours ago, and now all of a sudden we're great again. It's 2-2. It's you guys over dramatize everything. So tomorrow's another game.
We are in Hollywood.
Great point. I think you saw it.
How did you feel about your outing tonight?
Incomplete.
Why were you upset with it?
Why?
Yeah.
We won the game. We'll go with that.
He's salty.
All right, Adrian Gonzalez. Somehow, this is an out. NLCS take series lead tomorrow. Got to do this. Us against the world is what he tweeted. That's Adrian Gonzalez after the game. Now, let me ask you a question. As you look at that picture, is his hand, are you convinced that it isn't in the air above the plate?
I'm not. I mean, this is the debate, and I think it's an interesting one. Because of the call on the field, it's all about the ability
Had they called him safe, they wouldn't have overturned it, and it would have stayed safe.
It's all about the call on the field and being able to prove it in the opposite direction by video. And I don't really agree with that. I think that, the umpire who's responsible with the video should just, give his subjective opinion as to what he thinks he sees, as opposed to trying to overturn something or prove somebody right. I'm not sure I like that very much. Bottom line is, yes, there is not enough there as far as the timing to call him safe in any way. At the same time, I would say if he was called safe, I'd probably be saying the same thing. It's simple as that. I can't tell. I mean, every angle that we showed, that you saw even during the broadcast, and there were a lot of them, it's very difficult to tell right when the glove hits his chin and right when his hand just finally touches home plate. Because it is, when you see it in slow motion, it's like hovering over home plate for like a split second. And it's almost like if it happens at the same time, but there's no discernible difference.
But I tweeted that had Angel Hernandez gone safe,
he would have been safe.
They would have reviewed it and said,
right, absolutely.
Call stands. They did not say call confirmed.
Right.
Call stands,
right.
Which means they didn't have enough evidence
to overturn
it.
Absolutely.
So Cubs caught a break. Time for the Wrigleyville Sports winning box score, and this one belongs to the Cubs. Good to see Dexter Fowler a good night, 2 for 5. KB had a couple of walks, but an 0 for 2 night. Rizzo a huge night, 3 for 5. Solo Jack, a 2-run single, knocked in 3. Ben Zobrist a 2 for 5 and that huge bunt single. Javi Baez had that bloop single, also had a walk. Contreras, big RBI single. Jason Hayward did drive in a run with a 4-3, and he's had 50 million 4-3s this year, but that was a big 4-3 to get a run home. Close. Addison Russell, 3 for 5, a monster night, scored 2 and had a 2-run home run. John Lackey did not get a hit.
Well, the two guys again, Russell and Rizzo really stand out. Love talking about them tonight. When you get to answer it this way, when it seems like, the conversation and the heat couldn't get any, more intense on both of these guys right now, I think especially for Anthony in this town, being the face and somewhat of the franchise, Addison Russell certainly earning his keep, that both these guys showed up tonight, had grind out at bats early, and then got themselves to positions to change the course of this game. Just absolutely so much fun to watch. And, for me personally, just kind of defining it, seeing them use the middle of the field. You see it as a former player. You know what's going on. I showed it to you in the pregame show. Anthony Rizzo's hip, getting out a little quick. Addison Russell as well, pulling a lot of balls to the left side, maybe getting a little too quick on that front side. And when they stay through it, you can almost see the working out, meaning the work behind the scenes. I know people don't get to see that, but I know these guys are working tirelessly to get the rhythm and the timing back to their swings. And when you see it play out, by taking a 2-0 swing to dead center field, you know that he's deliberately thinking, stay on this pitch and drive it up the middle.
All right, I hope there's no panic in Cubs Nation now. Everybody's relaxed. You're good. You'll get a good night's sleep. You'll wake up tomorrow, and the Cubs will try to win us all another baseball game. We'll be right back at Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Combining home and auto can save you big. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
When you're on hold, your business is on hold. That's why Comcast Business doesn't leave you there. When you call, a small business expert will answer you in about 30 seconds. No annoying hold music. Just a real person, real fast, whenever you need them. So your business can get back to business. Sounds like my ride's ready.
Don't get stuck on hold. Reach an expert fast. Comcast Business, built for business.
We started with the class-leading RX. We gave it paddle shifters to help you command the road. A sport mode to help you control the road. And a sport-tuned suspension to help you connect with the road. The Lexus RX F-Sport. This is the RX Elevated. Lease the 2016 RX 350 for $419 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Meeting people is my life. I was embarrassed to show my teeth. It was time to do something that was going to be permanent.
The Clear Choice one-day approach is making dental implants a reality for people all over the country who suffer from missing or failing teeth.
We have expertise that you might not find anywhere else, all in one location.
The next day, I had a new smile. Couldn't wait to show some folks.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options.
I had the best smile I'd ever had in my life.
Call Clear Choice today.
Hello? What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Are you serious? Not khakis. What are you wearing? For fastballs, call me. For saving time and money, call State Farm. You sound hideous.
All right, our Clear Choice Dental play of the game. And first, take a look at our poll question. Gary Jones is winning in a blowout.
He should be winning in a blowout.
No.
You know what? It took some serious cojones to send him right there, and he made it happen. Who didn't think that in that moment, that all the momentum that we had lost over the last two games was regained right there in that moment?
Bad send, and he got lucky.
Bad send, that's the way you think. That's how you get yourself out of the slump. You take a risk. You say, you know what, we're going to do it anyway, and this is how it turned out.
Holly, look at that dog. That dog is cool. That dog is really cool. Gary Jones gets that guy thrown out. He's being destroyed on Twitter.
Well, there's no doubt about it. But you know what? That's a risk he took.
Is that Mia Hamm? Here's our Clear Choice Dental Implant Center's play of the game. There's the base hit by Contreras. And here's the
send him!
Ridiculous send.
Yeah! Wave him all along. Yeah, yep, you see it? Standing up. Had it all the way.
Mr. Tolles for just
had
the worst
it all the way.
You'll ever see.
That was pretty bad.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, had it all the way. You know what? Like I said, it starts with the two-strike hit right there. I'm all about the two-strike hit. Shortening up and putting the ball in play right there just enough to get it over the infield. But, yeah, Gary sent him, baby. We got to get something going, man.
Tolles didn't have his shoes tied like some other Rookie of the Year that I remember.
Stop it.
Dexter Fowler, let's hear from him.
Like I said, that was a good start. It was a good start getting that one hit. I mean, myself, I was hitting balls right at people and, wasn't getting any results. But, one drops and the rest keep rolling.
Dexter, they have a rookie on the mound like that. You guys want to take him deep, kind of rattle him a little bit and make him throw strikes?
He seemed pretty poised out there, just make him throw strikes and get something good to hit and take a whack at it and see what happens.
Dex, it's even, obviously, but do you feel like you have the momentum going forward now?
Yeah. I mean, once our bats got going, it definitely helped out a lot. We stepped back and took a deep breath and let it happen.
Was there a little bit of an exhale, or were you never too concerned?
I wasn't too concerned.
when you have the bats that we do and they start clicking, it's you know, you sit there and you just put a big smile on your face.
It's 2-2 now. It's a best of 3. Does your mindset change at all moving forward into Game 5?
No, I mean every at bat counts, and you know, every run scored counts, and you just got to do a job. If you don't, you pass the baton and keep it pushing.
What about not facing Kershaw?
We're just having some fun at Adrian Gonzalez's expense on his Twitter. We'll take another time out. We'll come back. We got a lot more to do, and we'll talk about the news about Clayton Kershaw. That's coming up next here on CSN.
Look at it, lads. New York City. Just doesn't get any better than this.
Actually, it does. With Grubhub, you can get the best foods delivered anywhere.
Gluten-free pad thai here for Seamus.
I am Seamus.
Gluten-free?
Yeah. Can't even taste the difference. Oh, you gotta lock up that front tire.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue and souvenirs, Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together, and they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema before it's available on Netflix or Redbox.
You are Tarzan. Tarzan. There's 1,000 men down there, 20,000 more on the way. We don't stand a chance. Climb on my back. Don't think for a second you're saving my life.
The Legend of Tarzan. Movie start at Channel 125.
Here's 10 reasons to buy from Willowbrook Kia and Berwyn Kia.
You'll always be treated respectfully.
Preferred customer benefits.
Free courtesy transportation.
Extended service hours. On-site collision center.
Over 500 new Kias in stock.
0.9% financing available on certified pre-owned Kias.
Value pricing.
Easy financing.
Our low-pressure sales approach.
And that's just the start of all you get at Willowbrook and Berwyn Kia.
Time now for our Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? N-O-T. Who's hot in the ALCS? How about Andrew Miller? 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 14 Ks, and 0 walks. MVP of the ALCS. Who's not? Toronto's Troy Tulowitzki. Have a good winter, buddy. 2 for 18, 0 extra base hits, 2 Ks. You ride off with a brutal. All right, UPS Store taking care of business. Player of the game.
Gary Jones.
We are going to go with, how about Anthony Rizzo and Addison Russell? Why don't we go both?
Come on, I'm just kidding.
There's Riz with his home run.
Yes, sir.
Solo Jack made it 5-0. The 2-run homer from Addison Russell had made it 4-0. There's Anthony Rizzo with a 2-run single. So a big night for Anthony Rizzo, big night for Addison Russell. Cubs destroy the Dodgers.
Yeah, and so much. You know, it's so funny because you look at the tempo of his swing right now, and you earlier, like last night, you see those hands that get really active, almost like nervous energy. Right now, just doing a great job staying inside the ball. 3 hits using the middle of the field.
Yeah, and using a Matt Szczur bat to get all 3 of them after he struck out twice with his own bat.
Okay.
All right, let's hear from Anthony Rizzo and Addison Russell. They're both at the podium.
Addison, when you hit the home run and you were rounding the bases, you gave a couple of little fist pumps. Was it a matter of relief, exhilaration, or a little of both there?
I would say all the above. Been struggling this postseason a little bit, but didn't panic. My confidence was still there. I feel like I've been seeing the ball well, taking some pretty good swings, so definitely wasn't panicking. I was a little bit more frustrated than anything else, but got back down to about my work and my work ethic, and it's fine. So it's definitely a sigh of relief, to have a big night.
From over here to the far right, standing.
Anthony, to your right. Can you tell us a little bit about Matt Szczur's bat and using it maybe last night, and how often you have done that, and how it feels to get on the board here?
I've done it a few times
especially later on in the year. Especially today, first 2 at-bats weren't so hot. Cease came out today with a nice feature on him about him giving his bone marrow. So all the things were just adding up. I hit well with his bat, so he has hits in it. And same size, just different model and different name, and it worked.
And right here in the center, Tim.
Anthony, you've been around long enough to know that slumps come and go, and that there's always going to be at-bats out there, and assume they're going to be better when you're in a slump. This time of year, does it start to feel a little more finite? You can probably count the number of at-bats in the best scenario. And does it start to grind on you after a couple of strikeouts earlier today? You start thinking, you know, I don't have a lot of time left here. Got to get going.
I think, like Addy said, is the work ethic and what you do is there. Our confidence is up. The best part about the postseason is it's the next bat. You know, you got to turn the page to the next at bat, and you got to be ready for that big situation. And all the guys in the clubhouse are there telling you, all the veterans, you know, it's just one. It takes one at bat. It just takes one. So it's all about winning games, and we came up on the good side tonight.
And all the way in the back.
Hey, Addy. Last week we talked about you getting back to, you know, what you do, taking a deep breath, and just getting back to the baseball you play. Look good today. Can you talk about, did you switch anything up, or did you just stick to your script?
It's pretty much the same thing. Still had the same approach. The only thing that changed from last week is just lowering my hands a little bit. I think that I stay through the ball pretty well whenever I do that. Just work in the middle of the field as well. But that's been my approach the whole time. So nothing really, just a little bit of hand placement. Like I said, really wasn't panicking, really wasn't nervous. It was just more of, you know, my teammates know what I have to bring to the plate, and definitely want to display that here in the postseason. That might be a little bit, you know, tidbit, you know, that put a little bit more on me, but I'm just excited about playing, you know, and happy to have my teammates here rooting me on, you know, and they didn't doubt me for 1 second.
All right, interesting stuff to hear those two guys. It's good to see them relaxed and ready to go.
I'm happy for them. Those podium moments mean something. I remember, you know, my run through the postseasons. I used to beg the guys, you know, for those podium moments. Now, I was a secondary player. Now, I didn't get any of them early in my career. You know, in 2003, I was hoping for those moments, you know, to be able to go up there and, you know, maybe have that big hit that everybody, oh, we need to talk to him after the game. It was funny because when I saw them both up there, I realized we have not seen them up there, you know, at the podium moments. So good for both. Well, that's my point, right?
And I'm not talking.
Well, that's right. I mean, hasn't been a whole lot to talk about. So good to see both of them up there. Those are big moments for you. You know, you realize you get to talk to the national audience when you get those podium moments after these playoff games. And both of them earned it today. Great approaches. They talked about work ethic and kind of getting back online. To me, just to see them comfortable, confident again. It was oozing from their pores tonight. Once this game really started to unfold and the at-bats got better, now they got to carry it over to tomorrow. That's what you want to see, where that confidence reappears. You see it early in the ball game, and this team starts to take off.
All right, let's hear from Matt Szczur, who's not on the active roster. He played a big role tonight.
He broke it. He broke the one after 31.
Oh, he's broke quite a few of them. This isn't our first rodeo.
So last night was not unusual.
No.
That was a spectacular break last night.
I know. It's crazy.
So you order more bats down here?
You know what? KB went to my bat a couple times this year, and the Marucci guy came in, and I said to him, hey, listen, you know, the big dogs are using my bat. You need to send me some more so I can use them. And I had, like, this is the fastest I ever got my bats before. I had 6 in 2 days.
Are you happy to contribute any way you can, even if it's
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for the guys, and like I said, I'm trying to help any way I can. If I have to give Tony my bat so he hits some homers, like, that's what I'm going to do.
How many bats do you think you took with your bat?
I'd probably say 30 or 40.
29 for 30?
I don't know. Not sure.
Tomorrow, what's he going to use?
That's phenomenal. He said, hey, the big dogs are using my bats. I need some more bats. He goes, the fastest I've ever gotten.
That's how
bats.
it works. That's absolutely how it works. Right. You get your bats in 2 weeks. You say, Anthony Rizzo needs my bat. Yeah, you get it overnight.
Oh, we'll FedEx that to you.
Right. It'll be right there. That's how it works.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Again, if you're wondering about the pitching matchup tomorrow, Clayton Kershaw is not starting, according to Dave Roberts, at the Maeda. We'll get the ball. Be right back.
When my hair gets too long, I lose my edge. But when my cut's right, I'm right. I'm back to being me. My dimples activate. My cleft chin becomes cleftier. I get a twinkle on my tooth, and I speak fluent French. Garbage, chaise lounge, mayonnaise. Au revoir.
Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Hi, how can I help you?
I got this. We're looking for something safe and spacious, has a rear view camera, and streaming audio for me to get my jam on.
How about a Honda CRV? Named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016.
My work here is done.
Get a great deal on the Honda CRV, named the Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Only at the Honda Take Home a CRV sales event.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, what light? When there's a light, why light?
Welcome to the Apt Showroom, one of the top appliance retailers in the U.S. Explore our full line of Thermador appliances that will inspire and empower you to imagine design and bring to life your dream kitchen. Our team of product experts will work with you, your builder, and designer from the very first sketch to the very last detail. Discover how Thermador is personalized to the way you cook and bring the ingredients of entertaining to life. Visit us at Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
Atta, baby! Oh my God! Atta, baby! Yeah, got the lead! Yeah, away! Yeah! Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! Yeah, baby! Yeah! Yes, sir! And pay me my money! Yeah! Yeah!
So ridiculous. Hidden cameras in the newsroom. Let's look back at
We can
Holly's
always
keys
count on you doing
from the
that.
Pre-game show, sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue
That's
Shield
right.
of Illinois.
All right, listen, that early lead, I would have liked to see it just a hair earlier, but you know what? Early is good enough as far as this one goes. What do we got? The fourth inning right there when it erupted. And that's exactly what I was kind of thinking it probably would be like when they get going, that they were going to feed off each other. Thank you, Ben Zobrist, for dropping down that bunt. It seemed to get everybody in gear, and Gary Jones for sending them home. Love it. Early lead, stood up, no doubt about it. Now, commanding the inside corner, I was talking about John Lackey there. I'm going to give it an incomplete as well, much like he did tonight. He was not very happy with the fact that he didn't get to go a little bit longer in the ball game tonight, but his ability to command that inside corner was okay at best. There were some pitches there that he wasn't getting, and I think he was getting frustrated with it. So we'll leave that alone, leave it as an incomplete. I think it was just a complete and total team win tonight. That's the most important thing. And clean up those little things, absolutely clear advantage for us. The Dodgers were all messed up tonight. They were throwing the ball all over the field. 4 errors. Obviously, the Cubs capitalized on that. You throw in a couple home runs, 13 hits for the Cubs. It turned into a big-time win for the Cubs tonight, an easy win.
All right, no more catcher's interference out of Willson either. That's the second one of the postseason. That's an error. All right, we'll have poll results, and we'll preview the pitching matchup for tomorrow. We'll be back.
Pat Hughes reporting from Wrigleyville Sports, where the excitement is building. Devin is getting a new home white jersey customized while he waits. He'll be ready for game action in no time. Ashley is having fun taking selfies in her new Cubs t-shirt. Fits like a glove. Colin is testing out a new bat. Get out the tape measure, long gone. Across the street from Wrigley Field, Wrigleyville Sports is your one-stop shop for everything Cubs. Open 7 days a week or anytime at WrigleyvilleSports.com.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue, and souvenirs. Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together. And they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Meeting people is my life. I was embarrassed to show my teeth. It was time to do something that was going to be permanent.
The Clear Choice one-day approach is making dental implants a reality for people all over the country who suffer from missing or failing teeth.
We have expertise that you might not find anywhere else, all in one location.
The next day, I had a new smile. Couldn't wait to show some folks.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options.
I had the best smile I'd ever had in my life.
Call Clear Choice today.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
All right, time for our poll results, the final. And there's your winner, Gary Jones for sending Zobrist. That was a Holly
well
Time
done.
pick. Holly Time 28 picked that. He gets 40% as the MVP. Not the guy who drove in 3, not the guy who had the big home run, not the guy who got the bunt down that got everything started, but a third base coach who shouldn't have sent a guy. It worked out because of a bad throw. If he got thrown out, we'd be barbecuing him. We'd be killing him.
You all remember Cap Cam, which we just saw about 2 minutes ago, right before the break, right? We had the camera in there. That was in part the reaction to the runners being sent by Gary Jones right there. That's his reaction. It's all good when you're safe. There's nothing wrong with it. You're right.
It's like basketball. No bad shot. Oh, it good.
Yeah,
Nice
that's right.
shot.
Well,
Way to
come
go.
on, man. Again, when your team is scuffling, that's what you do, man. You send them. It doesn't make sense. Just go for it.
Take a shot. All right, pitching matchup for tomorrow's Game 5 of the series. Cubs will run their best out there. Lefty John Lester, 1-0, 14 innings pitched in the postseason with a 6.64 ERA, 8 Ks, and a .71 whip. Kenta Maeda will go for the LA Dodgers, and he has had his postseason struggles. Tell us about Johnny.
Well, he's been outstanding. I mean, again, you're going to see the fastball in and out. He's going to use the cutter. Listen, I completely expect them to try to get him to throw to bases. I don't think it's going to happen. He'll be on his game. You're going to see a lot of ground balls and him executing pitches. This is a lopsided game right here and now. So go in there and take care of business tomorrow night.
Jock Peterson just said, hey, we're going to make it feel the ball, throw the ball. We'll see how that works out. Good to see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Get some sleep. You got radio in the morning.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Cubs win, series back 2 apiece. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5.